Hi and welcome to fourth class of our PHP blog website development. In the meantime of three classes which we had before, we talked together and we worked on the front end of our website, which you can see here nice and sitting here. We made also other pages like login and a registration page, and that's all good. And now our next step is start working with PHP, a server-side language. What PHP does, it connects our database with actual front end. So we all know already what's the front end, how it works, but let's now understand what's database, and only then we can start using PHP. Like, if you don't know what's database, and I believe some of you won't know, it won't have meaning to move forward. So if you know what database is, what's SQL, what's MySQL, feel free to skip to next lesson. If no, you are welcome and follow along with me. So what's a database for? Basically, if databases did not ever exist, what the website owners had to do? They actually had to open the HTML of their website, and if they don't like something, if they want to add a blog post, let's go to our index, they had to go here and just copy paste and make a new post, which is extremely bad and which is extremely not normal too for most of the people. So let's see how many posts we have. So if you were a website owner and databases did not exist, you had to come over here, just copy this, and then you had to manually open this app and write the name of your post and write a different text, like work in this code editor like in Word document is really not normal. And if you make a small mistake, delete something, so much stuff is broken. And that's why 30 years ago many wise people decided to make a database and an interface where users can edit their content a lot easier. In this course we are going to create a new content management system, but let me show you on another famous content management system how it works. This is Wordpress. Let me show you. So this is a simple WordPress website which runs on WordPress. So when you want to add a new post, you just remember, this is not a lesson about WordPress. I just show you how content management systems work. We are gonna make a new one for our blog website too. We are gonna code it, but this has a reason to show you what's database and how it works. So you have a nice here, you add a new database, it opens you a nice working area where you can make edits, and these edits are gonna go to database. Let me create a post, like post about nothing. Let's fix this, and I am gonna put some dummy text in here. Let's, for example, just go to lorem ipsum page and paste some content in here. So I'm gonna copy all this paragraph. Let's copy and paste it in here and see what happened into database. This is our database of this website, and it saves the information into WP users area. I know you're not familiar with this, but you are gonna be so. So let's find in WP posts. I am sorry. Let's select the data and see what happened right after we added the post. We shall be able to see what we have added right in here. And now going to our second page, we see what we have created. We see post about nothing, and we can see that paragraph which we put in here. So let's go and check it out together, and you will see contrary to public belief, and when we go to database, we see here the same contrary on public belief. So what database does, we have a content management system which are user friendly and users can interact, make edits or where it looks nice, and database becomes a middleman between the front end. So whatever change that's done here, it goes and it's saved into database, and whenever this document wants, let's imagine better this one, documents wants to take information, open or load the page, it goes to database, asked what's the last post exactly, and database tells that, hey, the last post is here, post about nothing, so put the header of the last post this, and put this text in here, and so on. If we add another post, again when we load the website, the website is gonna make a query to database asking, hey, what is the last post? Please give me information about the posts which we have added. And database tells, hey, we have just added a new post, so the one you had before is not the last one. Now load this one. So website gets from information from database, and from content management system we fill with the database with whatever we need. So let's make a post. What is the database? And as a text, I'm just gonna put a sentence. Are you sure you know what it's now? Let's publish this. Reload the website and see what happened exactly. Yeah, was database. So what we see, again, website asked the database, was the last post. They said, hey, we have a new post, so put this one as the last, and the next one, the next post by the timing is this one and this one. Database gave information, and we supplied the information to database, the content management system. And there are different types of databases. There are NoSQL and SQL databases. Like, to be honest, I never used NoSQL database, so I won't be able to tell much about them, but it's not so widely used in the world. Mostly it's SQL databases that are used, and most of them is MySQL. Over 15 million websites in the world. Like, imagine how much it is. And this looks like that. Like, for you to understand what's the database, how database acts like, let's first understand that database SQL, that what's SQL, which is structured query language, and see how it acts. So it structures, so from the word it's obvious, it structures our data into some kind of way where you can write the code using PHP and access it. So it simply acts this way. For example, this is your database of your X website. Your X website database has its own tables. So it may have a different table for users, and then it's gonna have different table for posts, and let's say it's gonna have different table for kids. Those tables have columns like in Excel, no difference. For example, about users, what we store in the information. We store the age. Let's fix this. We are gonna have save in database the age of the user. We are gonna save the sex of the user, and we are gonna save, let's imagine, is he drinking alcohol or no, and we are gonna save username and password. and also username. And there, when someone using the forms like we have created in last lesson, if you are not, let me show you the page. For example, this code. When let's better open registration for you to be more obvious. So when someone signs up, all his information which we put here, his name, email, and password, are going and are being saved in database, creating some rows. For example, if someone has registered, we save his 21, his male, is drinking is gonna be no or false, password 123 and username 123. When someone else registers, another row is being added. So let's imagine it's here. When someone, another row, and so on. So this is how databases usually act. Pretty simple, like this, almost the same as Excel, as you would do in Excel. And the question remains for you: how do we get information from database? Pretty simple. Let's make a query for you. We are not going to use inside our lessons. I just want to show you how it's simple. So to do that, I am gonna write a simple query inside one of the files. Let's make a query.php, and we are gonna paste a simple type of query. So you just select this star means everything from employees. So we select everything, like we already need to configure the database. We'll show you in the next lessons how to configure databases. I show you this just to understand how these things act. So you say select everything from employees, which is a table name, like I have showed you. Like for example, in the database we have just opened a minutes ago. These are all tables. You can see here select. So if you go to users and we wanna make a query, let's type here SQL command, and whatever you put here, it's gonna work. For example, if I put this query in here, it's not gonna work, but this is actually how it works. Let's put it here. Select everything. We don't have employees. I just gonna put WP users, and I not putting where. Let's execute. You see, so we got all the users we want. Nice and interesting. So this is how we get. So, but let's make a different query. We see that ID is 1. So let's make a different query. So where ID, so this was the name of the column, is 1. And let's make here WP users. Execute, and that's it. If you make this to 2, what's gonna happen? Nothing, no rows. Nice and interesting. Pretty simple. Everything works fine, and you can make your parameters in SQL language. This is just an example. Let's continue and do a different thing. Let's take everything, and I'm not gonna tell where. I'm just gonna tell here WP user meta table. Let's execute, and you see how much information we got. So this is about database. In the same way, we make these queries using PHP, and we connect it and show it to our websites. So hope you got understanding what's SQL, especially what's MySQL, what we use, because MySQL is one of the most widely used types of SQL languages. And what's the main thing? It's open source, so there is no any company in the world which owns this. You also, as a developer, can go and contribute to the project as well. Thanks for watching. Get ready for the next lesson, because we are going to make connection between database and the website. We are gonna get information from there. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be interesting, so I'm waiting for you in the next lesson.